I just love all the background noises I'm constantly hearing. Like, what the heck do you guys even do to make all these sounds?
It's all Josh!
Vidar, why? Like, can you not sit still?
I am the sound.
These are lies. Anyway, we return to our party in the town of Hornsey, or rather not the town of Hornsey, but near the town of Hornsey, to the south of Hornsey, towards the forest as they venture in seeking out the mysterious disappearances of both children, people, and guards from around the, town. Party?
I wonder if there's a ghost here.
What is that noise?
What?
What is that noise? It's just...
Those are the beautiful sounds of nature, Iris. Can you not hear the great raven swallow?
Anyway, I wonder if there's a ghost here.
That's more like a pig.
It's been quite some time since I've seen one.
A ghost?
A ghost.
Great insight, party.
A pig ghost. I get the
A
hiccups.
pig ghost.
I don't know. Anyway, so we're in the forest, right?
You're at the edge of the forest. You have all just arrived. The doctor slinking behind you like a weird worm thing. Because that's something he was doing last session.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was. Oh, yeah, I made some money last session. I forgot.
Blinking, he was on the ground snake.
Wait, I thought I was going to go fix my armor before we left.
No, you went to the blacksmith, and do you remember...
Oh, right. He was in... That's...
Yeah, he was.
He was a drug addict. That is unfortunate.
Well, after we kill the bear, we'll kill him too.
Yep.
Yes, casually, just a conversation about killing a person of authority within a town full of nothing but soldiers. Yes,
Yeah,
clearly
that's,
the smartest of
great idea.
parties.
Yeah.
Great idea. Brutus,
Darn
jeez,
dwarven
calm down.
So you just going to continue having this conversation on the edge of the forest, staring in like a bunch of morons, or are you actually going to do something?
Now, let's go find the ghost.
Oh, we're chasing him.
What ghost?
I don't know.
Alright, what are we looking for again?
Missing people.
Missing people.
Alright,
May-
missing
ghost.
people. Let's look for missing people.
Perhaps
I
you should
walk.
look for your missing memories first.
I walk forward.
You walk forward
I
into
flow
the woods.
close behind.
Let's go into the woods, everyone.
You do
The
so.
doctor flows close behind.
Flows? Okay, sure.
He has an interesting walking pattern.
He basically is just flailing his arms around like a wacky inflatable tube man while going, woo!
That's pretty smooth. I'm curious how he did not get hanged throughout the course of his life.
He's a doctor, obviously.
Or just like, I'm just
Whenever
curious
they
how.
hanged me and I didn't die, they cut me down and I escaped in the confusion.
Ah. So, as we walk, we see anything?
You see a pig swallow, a disgusting bird that makes disgusting noises, similar to that of a pig, which you have been hearing throughout the course of your conversations. There's several
Where's
words.
Cyrus and Dwarven? Didn't they follow us, or are they just still at the edge of the forest?
I'm assuming that they followed.
Yeah, I see one now. He's chill.
They're so quiet.
Yes, apparently they have gone mute, it would seem.
They chilled out.
Did you guys
They've
drop
chilled.
your tongues on the way here?
What?
Did you drop your tongues on the way here? Speak up.
No, I did not.
Why
No,
are
like
you
not.
whispering?
He has the sword.
This is a forest. You could scream.
Maybe.
Dovin the Grey, on his journey here, was dumb enough to pick up some random fungus and try to eat it, and now has a bad throat. He can speak, but it is soft and raspy.
I remember the time I ate bad mushrooms. Oh boy, I remember waking up on the roof of the church.
Yes, you were completely naked.
Yes, that was quite the... Those were really bad mushrooms. I gotta remember not to eat those. What?
I said he ate fungus, not mushrooms.
Oh.
Or I forgot what he said.
You do know those are the same thing, right?
No, he said something different. I just forgot what it was.
They're of the fungi family. Anyway, people. Hello!
You cry
People!
out into the forest and receive the sounds of silence.
Hello, hostages? Anyone?
Again,
Whoever
you
the
receive...
fuck is taking the people.
Well, that time you received the good doctor replying, but again, silence.
Hey, you!
Nothing.
Darn. That usually gets them.
Well, if there's a serial killer out here, remember, we're going to kill you.
Marco!
Nothing.
Oh, man. There's clearly no one out here.
Instead of yelling, why don't you look?
I already tried. I didn't see anything. I looked a whole 2 feet.
You checked one bush.
That, I'll have you know, that bush was a very big bush.
It appears Iris has contracted the giggle fits.
He's just so quiet. It's funny to me.
Alright, well, let's keep going and keep looking.
The doctor inspects the surrounding.
Very well, then. You begin a cursory inspection of the surrounding areas. Vidar, why don't you give me a roll? A perception roll.
82.
What's your perception?
5.
Wow, you're a blind-ass bat.
Can I look around?
Of course you may. Don't look too hard now.
Do I see anything? Like,
Well, you have to give me a roll. I thought I established this.
I got 66.
Okay, what's your perception?
7.
Ah. You notice markings on the trees.
What kind of markings?
Well, you're not entirely sure at a distance, however, a closer inspection might reveal what manner of thing this might have been.
can I inspect it closer?
Of course. Give me a roll for natural world.
Oh, I got 67.
You don't have a very good natural world skill.
Well, my natural world's 45. Doctor, you try it.
I will indeed inspect it over your incompetence.
Shut up, retard.
You didn't need to be so rude about it. The doctor goes over to inspect it, however, he trips and falls and bashes his head on a rock.
Who's the incompetent one now, fool?
He is too dazed and now feels very ashamed and can no longer inspect it.
Okay, can anyone else inspect the tree?
I
Someone,
will inspect the tree.
hopefully, who does not get a critical failure roll.
I will.
Very well, Dorvin. Successful. Oh, you have a very high natural world skill. Dorvin goes over to inspect the markings on the tree and recognizes that these are not made by an animal. In fact, they were made by a weapon, a bladed weapon in particular.
How big was the weapon?
Taking a glance, it looks to have been some kind of sword, a fairly decent size sword, but the exact size is no way of telling. It's obviously just cut marks, but whoever wielded it was able to make quite deep cuts, considering the thickness of the tree.
Why would somebody be cutting up this tree? Did they just miss?
It could have been a fight.
Perhaps you've not seen everything.
Can we look around?
You may now have a second look around. After having viewed this, you see the world around you in a bit of a new light. Everyone now is able to make a second perception roll.
I will check the surrounding areas.
As you wish, good doctor. The good doctor, having managed to make himself well acquainted with the ground, notices footprints, where his head had bashed into a rock.
What kind of footprints?
Well, this is the exact reverse of being stepped on, but aha, here are footprints.
The footprints appear to be a bit hurried and all over the place, scattered. It depicts signs of some kind of struggle. However, whatever struggle it was seems to have involved quite a number of people.
This would explain the marking on the tree.
There also seems to be splatters of dried blood mixed in with the dirt in places where it's a bit muddy.
Are there any footprints leading away from here?
There are indeed. Does anybody want to do a tracking roll to try to follow the prints deeper into the forest and lead the party?
I could try.
Do you have
Not
a good
sure.
tracking skill?
I wouldn't classify it as good, but I could try.
Very well. Give me a roll.
Uh, 33.
33. What's your tracking?
35!
Ooh. The tracks are difficult to follow, however, you do manage to navigate your way around following the tracks. Leading yourself deeper into the forest, you eventually find that they lead into a body of water. A small body of water, yes, but a body of water nonetheless. Straight into it. The body of water in question, as I said before, is a small one, and is at the base of a waterfall.
Looks like looks like it's time to go for a swim.
Indeed. The good doctor walks into the body of water.
You do so.
I also walk into the body of water.
Very well, you travel into the water. However, as soon as you take a single step onto the water's surface, you sink deep.
Ah!
In fact, there is no shore to this. It is merely a pit of water straight deep down to the earth.
Oof.
Now this is intriguing.
I swim down.
You swim further down. And further down. And further down.
The doctor swims
Until
after.
it's pitch black. Any further and you won't be able to see. It is incredibly dark.
I don't suppose they had glow sticks back then. So, I guess I shouldn't go down there.
You could get some glow
The
flies
doctor is still
or a
sinking.
torch
You can't get a torch underwater.
and put it in a jar. But then it would go out if it was fire. That's why I say glow flies.
I was about to say it would run out of oxygen.
Yeah. Unless there was some kind of chemical reaction you could get, but I don't think we have those in this time period.
Let's just all get in an old-fashioned diving bell and just jump on down. That'll work.
I'm sure that'll work great. The walls, they won't cave in. Water will not fill the bell. We will not all drown to death. I'm sure
You're
it'll
right.
be great.
I won't.
By the way, Vidar, there's something moving.
Oh, what? In the water?
No, the water itself is moving.
What?
Yes, in fact, it seems to be... There's a force being pushed up very rapidly. Also, good doctor, you notice that the surface that you are presently standing on seems to be in motion at the bottom. And there's a lot of rushing water being pushed past your body. Almost as if you're being thrust upwards at an alarming rate.
Wait, the doctor's on the bottom?
Yes, he sank to the bottom like a rock. He's currently in pitch blackness, but he feels as though he is being thrust very quickly upwards. And Vidar, you feel the water itself being pushed aside. On the surface, Dorvan and Iris, the water itself is now bubbling with all sorts of motion.
Does it feel hot?
It is not hot. It is not that kind of bubbling. You see...
I throw it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Iris. No, go ahead, Iris. What do you throw?
I was just going to say I throw a stick at it.
You throw a stick at the water.
You're gonna anger it.
It just kind of bubbles around.
It's
It
water!
Just kind of bubbles around.
Is this secretly not water and is secretly like just a ginormous slime?
That would be terrible.
Vidar,
like
you see a red glow coming now
Uh-oh.
from below you. rising quickly. Also, Doctor, on the surface of what you're standing, you see a red glow appear.
Ah,
Red
This looks
glow,
dangerous.
eh?
Are you going to do
does-
anything, Vidar? Or, Doctor?
Does it look... This red glow, does it look as if it's like a creature, just a glow? I can't really tell.
Whatever it is rapidly approaching. Like, rapidly approaching.
I swim up.
You begin trying to swim up as quickly as you can, but it's very quick. It's very quick. You see teeth.
Oh! I see teeth.
You
am I
see
standing
teeth.
on its eyeball?
No,
I am fucking
Doctor. However, you
terrified.
do feel the ground beneath you shift, and now that you have moved up into the light, you see that there is a giant open maw. You are standing next to on the forehead of some sort of large-mouthed, toothy creature with glowing red eyes.
I'm terrified out of my mind. I grab my swords. Fast as I can.
You very well. As you grab your swords, you are immediately already inside its mouth as it comes up.
Ah!
Iris and Dorvin, you see the good doctor shot about 30 feet into the air out of the water. And a very large serpent-like creature, but not serpent-like as a snake, but more like a strange fish-snake hybrid almost. Like, it's more fish than snake, but its body is very almost eel-like.
Do I know what this is?
Give me a roll to see if you do.
Nope, 79.
No idea. Let's see if Dorvin has any clue. He has no idea either. This is the first time any of you have seen such a mysteriously strange creature. Doctor, you land, a good distance away in the forest, but within view distance of where you were. Iris and Dorvin, you see a giant creature now before you that has appeared from the water. It is now, I would say, around 15 feet out of the water, with no end in sight to its whole body. This seems merely a small part of the whole of the creature.
Well, that was quite a bit of a ride.
It is now sinking back down into the water.
I am in it.
Yes, Vidar, it is dark and slimy, and you find yourself being moved through some sort of wet canal of sorts until you are dropped into a large, open pit.
Whoa! Hold the phone. If I were going down the thing, I would immediately stab my one of my swords and like catch myself.
Well, the thing is that you're constricted through the tunnel before you reach your destination.
Okay.
Because
And now I'm in. Now
it's
I'm in a
a
large
big. You're now in a large open pit of sorts. In fact, you land on a large bit of floating wood, and there seems to be light in this place.
There's light.
There is light, a light source, a red light source.
Oh.
Looking
Where's
around,
it coming from?
it seems to be coming from the very inner walls themselves, almost. But there also seems to be these blue, strange things floating about. Not in the liquid beneath you, but rather in the air above you, just bobbing around.
Blue things?
Blue orb-like things, but they're not wisps. They look kind of lifelike. They look like they are some kind of living thing. Almost like a jellyfish, but without tentacles, and they just kind of bob in the air. And they produce a blue light.
Weird. Oh, well, I'm glad they're here. But, I, on the other hand, am not happy that I'm here. And I want out.
The platform that you fell upon, by the way, appears to be the remains of a ship.
I, just out of curiosity, I give a quick call out. Hey, anybody in here?
You, high or low?
Hi.
You hear a sound produced in response, but the words you can't make out. But it does, but they did, the sound definitely seemed as though it appeared as soon after you called out.
As soon as I called out?
After, yes, you called out, and then you heard something in the distance, but you can't make out what it was.
It could just be my echo, but, I don't know.
Believe so. It's the area is quite large, but not large enough to produce that kind of sound, especially with the more organic nature of your encasement.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can... I go towards the sound.
Well, you're standing on, as I said, the remnants of a ship, surrounded by a mysterious fluid.
Oh.
As soon as you touch the fluid with your foot, your shoe begins to melt away.
Oh. I pull back. Uh-oh. That's acid! I don't like acid. It hurts. Let's see. Is there anything I could jump across?
You see that there are several floating objects, platforms of sorts, that you could jump to. However, it's risky.
How close is this ship to the side of its, stomach?
You're, dead center.
Dead center?
Yep, dead center.
Oh, the ship that I'm on, is it, just a one floor vessel? Is it, multi-layered? What is it like?
You're just on... It basically is just a wooden platform that you're on.
Oh,
it's like...
okay.
It's
it looks like a raft, almost.
Kinda, yeah, but larger than that. It's the broken remains of a ship. The only reason that you can tell is based off of... It's part of what would used to be the upper deck, and you can see some of the railing of it.
So jumping really is my only option here. Let's see. Wait, 1 second. Let me check my inventory.
While Vidar is deciding what he wants to do, back on the surface, the creature is still going into the water. Has not gone in yet. Just pointing that out.
We need to jump in after.
That seems like a bad idea.
It ate Vidar.
So what? We're supposed to jump in and get eaten too?
Look,
It is
don't
not
be
in the water. Its head is out of the water.
Can I shoot at its eyeball?
Yes!
You're gonna piss it off.
Please, don't just stand there. Goodness sakes. Yes, you can shoot at its eyeball. Give me a roll.
53.
Your archery is
61.
good enough. Let's see, what dice did I say that your
D12.
D12, that's right. You fire an arrow into one of the creature's many eyes. You see blood spray out of it, and it reels from this, and is immediately angered and lets out a very bassy, shrieking sound. And the ground beneath you begins to shake. Anyone else?
I can't really do much.
The good doctor watches, waiting for an opportunity to hop in after Vidar.
I'm going to let you know that the creature's head, this neck of it, is so large that it is actually it is touching the land. That's how, close it is. It's not like you'd have to get in the water to hit it. It is that's how, you could just stand on the edge and hit it. That's how close.
I'll slash it then.
Oh,
Very well.
I'll slash at it too.
You don't really have to do much of a roll for this, all things considered. The creature is so absolutely massive that you can pretty much swing your weapon in any direction and hit it, because it is basically like hitting the broadside of a barn with a toothpick. But you do strike at it and manage to inflict several cuts into the surface of its body, which produces more angered shrieks from the bassy toned creature. However, something strange happens.
Huh?
Where you cut the creature, a head pops out of it.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Iris, where you shot the creature in the eye, a head comes out of it.
What?
They shoot out, and not a short distance either. We're talking this head, this small head, shoots out like a tendril
Gosh,
around
it's a Hydra.
like 300 feet in length. These tendril-like things come out with teeth and eyes.
What the hell is this thing?
We're doomed.
Hydras only grow heads if you cut one off.
This is
Not if you cut them.
This is a super Hydra. It's like super AIDS.
Returning to Vidar, who I'm sure is feeling completely calm about his situation.
I need to get out of here!
Vidar, you're on your platform. What do you want to do?
Let's see, I got roll. A vial of poison. Oh, wait, no, I think I used that.
I'll say you have a vial of poison.
Okay. Honey mead. Water. Ooh! I have my fire starter.
That is true. There is a lot of wood inside of this belly.
Oh, I'm gonna pull the Pinocchio. Let's see. I tried to get some wood together.
You're standing on wood. I meant that there's a lot of wooden things floating around.
I try to, pick it up without getting my hand
there is
too...
a barrel floating nearby.
Ah, a barrel! I try to pick that up. Boop.
You pull the barrel out of the strange acidic fluid.
Here we go. Alright. I try to light it.
Okay, give me a roll.
$47.
I'll say that's good enough today. Yes, you do manage to light the barrel top on fire on your wooden platform.
This could go either good or bad. Now I wait.
It is producing a bit of smoke.
That's good. Smoke. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, nope, that would hurt me. I was gonna say throw the vial of poison in there, but that might hurt my lungs. Let's see. I guess I just gotta wait. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever had a fire in your stomach before? That can't be good for you.
True. You only have a very small fire right now, though, compared to how big it all is.
This is true.
It's only one barrel.
Do I see anything else?
Well, not nearby, but there is lots of wood nearby. There are other sunken ships in this place.
Well, that fire is going. I look to go jump to another platform that looks like it's got the biggest amount of wood nearby.
There's one that seems to be nothing but a bunch of broken wood all piled up.
Well, it looks like it could do. I do a running jump over to try to get over there.
Give me a roll.
Please don't land.
What's your dexterity, by the way?
Oh, no. Oh, no. 3.
Okay.
I'm not making this jump now, am I? Can I use strength? Because I got strong legs.
Nope. It's dex.
If I have strong legs, though.
It's dex.
Why? Shouldn't that be like avoiding danger, not jumping?
This is avoiding danger.
32.
You only fail a little bit.
That's not too bad.
You misjudge the jump ever so slightly, and a bit of your leg falls into the acid.
Ah!
You pull yourself up quickly, though, but you sustain 4 points of acid damage.
Ow!
You're on the platform with all the wood now, though. And you left your fire on the other platform.
It's fine. It's fine. It'll burn for a while. I grab the what was I gonna do? Jump with the fire in my arms? I mean, well, I guess
wouldn't have failed any worse.
And
You
so-
could have attempted throwing the barrel of fire over on the
Now
pile.
that's a smart man.
Oh, yeah, yep. Did
See,
not
that
think
would have
about
been
it.
a strength roll.
Oh, darn it. I didn't think about that.
Yes, we all know how smart you are, Vidar. Going back to Iris Dorvin and the Doctor, you are now faced with tendrils that have come out of this strange creature with teeth, and, yeah, you're all gonna get attacked by these tendril things. Let's start with you, Iris. Give me a, are you gonna take a defensive action or or try to, counter the creature?
I'm gonna defend.
Okay, give me a roll.
37.
You attempt to defend, however, the creature's weird tendril moves in a very strange way that you can't predict very well, and it bites you right on the shoulder and dealing 4 points of damage. Not necessarily because the bite was so bad, but when it bites you, it releases a venom, but not a venom like a poison. It burns you, dealing 4 damage. Dorvin, what kind of action are you going to take?
Against what?
The thing that's attacking you. The tendril. There are 3 new tendrils now. One's going after you.
Can I do offensive?
Sure. Of course. Give me a roll. Good news, your counteraction worked wonders. You chop the head off of the creature, a tendril that comes at you with your sword right as it strikes. It reels back and then 2 smaller heads are produced out of the wound.
Fuck my life.
Doctor, what do you want to do?
The doctor pulls out a vial to have the creature bite onto and inject its acid into.
Very well, then. The doctor is going to do a self-sacrifice action. Holding out the vial, the creature lunges, grabbing your hand, ripping it off, and swallows the vial.
That didn't go as planned.
Your right hand is now gone.
Yep, that did not go as planned.
It also did 6 points of damage. And you are, well, kind of bleeding ever so slightly a lot. Back to you, Vidar.
This is mildly inconvenient.
I feel like Fozzie the Bear, that time that he ran through a laser grid system, and he left the thing of money that he needed to actually have to deliver to the bank deliverer.
On the other side, I know exactly what you're talking about. I love this.
Yeah, and I realize I have to jump back to.
You still have your fire starter.
That's true, but like the barrel is already over there.
But you have all this wood over here.
You know what? Yeah, yep. You know what? I'm not gonna do what Fozzie did and get double burnt. I'm just gonna actually wait. 1, 2, 3.
Set the pile of wood on fire, then take planks out from the pile and throw them into other collections of wood.
Man, he ran through a laser grid 3 times. That has gotta hurt. How is he not dead? But anyway, okay, I'm gonna try to start the fire here.
Give me a roll.
31?
That's 10 points better than your last roll. So yes, you set the pile of wood on fire, and it starts up quite quickly.
Ah, this is nice. Oh, I should probably step back.
It's producing a lot of smoke. Well, the smoke is rising. It's not, like, in your face.
Oh, okay. Now I wait.
Well, you hear a rumbling sound in the waters, a bubbling. Well, not waters, sorry. The acid, there's a bubbling.
Uh-oh. Why is it doing that?
Some creatures begin to come up onto the platform that you're standing on.
What? Say what? What was that? What?
Creatures come out of the acid onto the platform.
What the fuck? Get away!
They're roughly about a foot in length. They look like they're kind of like a weird maggot-like creature. Well, not a maggot. They're a bug-like creature, like a beetle almost, but one uniform mass with these round circle mouths with large sort of razor teeth that sort of vibrate and make a zzz kind of sound.
Stay back! And I pull out my swords.
There are currently 5 on the platform.
Do they look like they're about to attack?
Oh yes, they do. They're coming straight for you.
Okay, I go to attack.
Give me a roll.
$87.
They're small and nimble, unfortunately. A bit too small and nimble for you, and manage to avoid the swinging of your swords at the ground. You're not quite familiar with how to fight such a mysterious and strange creature.
Or one so tiny.
Or one so tiny.
It's like trying to hit a rat. It's like, get back here.
Are you going to take a defensive or an aggressive action against them as they go to attack?
Actually, I think I'm going to go on the aggressive this time.
Very well. Give me a roll.
Uh, 50 even.
What's your two-handed?
86.
One jumps up from the ground, aiming straight for your face, but you manage to swing your sword in reaction and cleave it in half. Another one goes for your legs, and you manage to chop that one away. Little by little, you continue this until they're gone, but more begin to come up from underneath onto the platform as the fire rages on.
Uh-oh.
While... Also, however, you do notice that as the fire continues to go, the smoke seems to be having a bad reaction with the walls, and they are beginning to move, gyrate, and pulse. As the acid bubbles all around.
I ain't no doctor, but I know that a fire in your belly can't be good.
Back on the surface, gang. Iris, you have been bitten by a mysterious creature that is now up in your face. What do you want to do?
Is its tendril still on me?
No, it bit and let go.
And if I cut the tendril, it'll just make more tendrils.
That is correct.
if I just do blunt force, will it make more tendrils?
You don't know. Unlikely. It wouldn't have any wounds to come out of.
Can I take a rock and try to hurt one of the tendrils that's nearby?
The one that's currently in your face, yes.
Okay, can I try that?
Of course. Give me a roll.
66.
I'll count it as archery since you have to aim it. What is your archery skill?
61.
Not quite good enough. You get close, but just manage to whiff it. Dorvin, what do you want to do? You now have 2 new tendrils. Smaller than the first, but still there.
Can I beat it with my pitchfork?
You have a pitchfork? Sure, go right ahead. Beat it with the side of your pitchfork if you want. Let's see what you managed to do. You take your pitchfork, and with the side of it, you smack both heads. At the same time, managing actually to produce a satisfying snap. You believe you've actually snapped the bone, the neck bone, of the smaller tendrils. And the tendril that it's connected to goes limp.
Nice.
Doctor?
The doctor flees.
The doctor flees. Anyway, after successfully managing to do all of this, you notice that smoke begins to bellow out from the main head, or what you assume to be the main head of this creature. Right out of its teeth and its mouth, smoke rises up. And it produces a strange sound as the ground beneath you shakes as if an earthquake were happening.
Why is this thing smoking out of the mouth?
Vidar, back to you. You're beginning to be closed in, being pushed closer and closer to the fire that you started, and it's getting very hot, but you're surrounded on all sides by about, I'd say, roughly 200 to 300 of these little pill bug things.
What the fuck? 2 to 300? Are you kidding me?
They are numerous. However,
This is just my luck.
However, the acid is now raging all of a sudden, and it's like some kind of earthquake going on. Everything is moving like a storm. And then all of a sudden, everything begins to be shot up.
Uh-oh.
You find yourself holding on to a piece of a broken ship, a small piece of a broken ship, as you are thrust up with a bunch of vomit back through an esophagus, and suddenly up into the sky. Iris and Dorvin, Doctor fled. Iris and Dorvin, you see the creature vomit. And out on the top of that vomit is Vidar holding on to a broken piece of a ship.
That is disgusting.
And he lands with a rather satisfying thud, actually, onto the ground as the creature then pulls itself back down into the waters below.
Well, I brush myself off. to get myself out, I see. So, guys, can we label down the people were probably killed by that thing?
I have no idea what this thing is.
Should we throw those missing people under the guise of missing via giant fish?
Yes.
Anybody else want to comment on that?
The doctor is hiding behind a tree, attending to his missing hand.
The doctor has managed to stop the bleeding and has put a wrapping around his hand. However, his hand is still gone.
Doctor, what happened to your hand?
I wanted to get some of the acid, and it ate my hand instead of biting the vial.
Uh-huh. Doctor, you really got to be more careful in the future.
Yeah, we need to get some humanity ASAP.
Yeah. Clearly. Iris, are you alright?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I be?
Why are you British?
Huh? What? What are you talking about?
No, he's Aussie.
Why is he right side up?
Also, that leg of yours. You're going to need humanity too.
This? Oh, it's just a flesh wound. I don't know if I'll need humanity for this, but,
As you
sure.
say that, remember those strange pillbug things that you saw inside the creature Vidar?
Yeah, there was like 200 of them.
On the leg that the acid burned, just underneath the skin, there is a bit of movement.
Oh, dear God.
And tiny little versions of those things eat their way out of the skin of your leg and crawl onto the ground.
Oh my god, that is so gross.
Well, at least they went
Well,
out
our
of the leg
decision
and
here
not
is
into it.
pretty obvious. The good doctor draws his sword and cuts off Vidar's leg.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck? No, he just said they popped out of my leg. Out, not further in.
Your leg is compromised.
Oh, I back up. I back away. Jeez.
The good doctor
I'm done.
is saying all this while holding a sword in his offhand.
Where did you get that sword?
He has a cane sword.
Doctor, you are not going to cut off my leg. Leave me alone.
I am cutting off your leg.
No, you're not. Back the fuck up. My
Come
leg
over
is
here.
fine. Stomp on the creatures that just came out.
It ate through your leg, and it is corroded by acid.
By the way, Dorvin, while they're having this conversation, you notice the little things that came out of Vidar's leg burrow themselves into the ground.
Hey,
See,
guys,
look what
those parasite things are on the ground.
Oh, see, look what you did. You tried to threaten my leg, and now you missed the opportunity to stomp on the parasite thingies.
I need to cut off your leg, and then we need to get to the
What?
town.
No, you don't. They just came out of my leg. They didn't go further in, you dum-dum.
Your leg is compromised. We'll restore
No.
it with humanity.
No, it's not.
You can't
Look,
regrow limbs with humanity.
I mean, maybe.
I'm saying that what the doctor is suggesting, cutting off your leg and then restoring it with humanity, can't be done.
Then, yeah, don't do that. Wait, then how's he gonna get his fucking hand back?
Who said he is?
Uh-oh. Where did his hand go, anyway?
It got ate.
By what?
The creature.
The creature has his hand?
It ate his hand.
The big one.
The small one that came off of it.
Where is it?
On the big one. It's a
Damn it.
tendril that came off of it, ate his hand.
That sucks. Gonna need that hand back. You already suck at fighting. I can't imagine you having only one hand. Let's see.
By the way, there seems to be something you guys are neglecting.
What would that be?
Remember Vidar? Inside, it was full of broken ships.
Yes.
Have you forgotten where you are on the map?
Yes.
Probably, yeah, we don't have a maps chat.
There is a maps chat. I made a maps chat.
Inland.
There's a maps chat.
Oh wait,
you
I
did?
forgot to make the maps chat, didn't I?
Ha ha! I thought I was
about to
crazy.
say, I don't.
I swore
was
I
about
made
to
a
say,
maps
I don't-
chat.
No. Unless you put it under something else.
No, there's no maps chat.
There's character description.
Here is the regional map. You're in Cobham.
Right.
Where's Scott?
Cobham's up top.
Top.
How,
Top.
how are
Top.
there?
Your finger.
Isn't this like a lake though?
Nope.
How this?
No.
This is
Wait.
Cobham
Wait.
isn't.
Yeah.
Is it?
Wait.
Next to, is this like a river?
Piece
Nope.
of ships. This far inland? How big is this thing? We need to go.
Yeah, let's run.
What?
Vidar, you seem to be missing the fact that you're in a landlocked region. And
Yeah.
that
How the fuck did it get in here?
It didn't.
What do you mean it didn't?
It's connected to the ocean.
How?
It's big. Unfathomably big.
So there's some way that there's an ocean path underground?
A burrow likely made by itself.
I will say that Dorvin mentions to Vidar that when the creature's head came up out of the water basin, that it was a perfect fit for the hole. In fact, you also notice that this water basin is oddly circular. Like, almost too perfectly circular.
Just like a sandworm, but in the ocean. Oh, an ocean worm.
Exactly.
So it brings the ocean with it.
This water is likely salt water.
Why don't you taste it?
Oh yeah, give it a taste.
Alright.
Well, he has a mask.
Oh, I'll give it a taste.
You taste the water. It is indeed salt water.
Oh shit. This thing has been burrowing all the way from the ocean. It's like a weird Godzilla. Only worse. Well,
What's a Godzilla?
the something. Let's see. Actually, if it was Godzilla, that would suck much more, because then we couldn't kill it, because Godzilla's fucking invincible, apparently. But, let's see. Well, I guess your hand is just lost. I don't know. I mean, how the heck are we gonna get that thing's attention back?
We're not retrieving my hand.
Maybe we could cut off someone else's hand and sew it on your body.
Oh, by the
There are
way,
specialized-
Vidar, I will mention that everyone else did a roll to see what the creature was, except for you.
Oh.
There is
That's
always
right.
the slight chance you may have heard a rumor of this thing.
Never know. Uh, 30.
What's your natural world?
Pretty low, unfortunately. It's 15.
Unfortunately, you've never heard any rumors of such a creature that can burrow its way from the ocean all the way into a landlocked country.
That sounds pretty bad, whatever it is. It's like terrifying. Also, did they tell me about like how it grew more heads?
I don't know, do you guys tell them about the heads?
Yes.
Also, when we inflict any wounds to it, a new head pops out.
How the fuck you supposed to kill it then?
Probably its heart.
We probably should have all jumped in there. But
Then we all would have been devoured by those leeches.
oh yeah, there was a lot of them in there.
Also, no telling where
If
you
I
would
could-
have ended up.
If we could somehow get a boat that didn't get destroyed and then kind of like paddle our way through its stomach acid, maybe we could eventually make it, but I don't know. That's a long shot. It's a very long shot.
Thinking about the closest large body of water, I would say we would have to travel west.
I don't know, but can we chalk down those missing people to this thing, or
Yes.
do you think this is just entirely random, like entirely out there?
The footsteps led to here, so at least one of them got eaten by this.
There was still a struggle, though.
This thing would not have given a struggle.
But we've taken enough damage that we should probably go back to town and rest up before we decide to tackle this again.
I give out a quick hello, just out of curiosity.
High or low?
Hi.
There's no response of any kind.
I give out a hello.
No response.
Yeah, let's head back to town.
Well, not every quest has a good ending, I suppose. Let's go tell the people that they dead.
We get the money, we solve.
I'm pretty sure this will be a good enough solution of what happened.
Hopefully they'll believe us.
If not, we'll just bring him down here to show him.
I don't suppose there was any... Wait, before we go back, perhaps there's some bits left over, like a shirt or cane or, I don't know, anything, remnants, something, so it can be like, hey, we found this. It's heavily implied they're dead. Do we see anything like that around here?
We saw blood.
You saw blood elsewhere. You didn't see blood here. Remember, you tracked, you had to track a set of footsteps up to this location.
And it just went missing here.
But you may take a look around the area to see if there's anything nearby.
Let's do like a group look-see.
I suppose we can, though.
Vidar, why don't you give us a roll first, since you suggested the idea?
$47.
What's your perception?
5.
You notice a set of footprints, but these aren't human. But not animal either. In fact, they're weirdly... You would describe them almost demonic.
What?
They're human in size, roughly. However, off the back, there seems to be a claw, and instead of toes, another set of 3 claws. So a claw coming off the heel, and 3 claws instead of toes, but roughly human in shape elsewise.
So, like, bird-like, almost?
Heavier than that, and larger. Human size, perhaps roughly 7 to 8 feet.
Oh, yikes. Also, everybody else was looking, weren't they? Did they see anything?
Let's see, Dorvin. Dorvin notices some scratches on nearby trees. The doctor doesn't notice anything. Iris, give me a roll.
Ten.
Ooh. Iris finds a sack behind a nearby bush. It looks to have been torn open and is roughly human-sized.
So there's an imp, a human bag. What?
Curious and curiouser.
Does that sea worm have anything to do with this?
Perhaps some of the victims were fed to the worm.
Why were there footprints that led right into the freaking water? That's weird.
Someone tried to swim away, but got eaten.
The footprints led into the water, not out of water.
The thing goes in and underground.
Yeah?
They swam down and swam away.
I mean, it's
Or,
possible,
at the very
but-
least, they hid under the water but got eaten while they were there.
Need I remind you, Doctor, that the hole all the way down is the exact size of that head.
Oh. You know,
How about the... Oh,
maybe. Why would they go down there?
Iris, since you since you got such a critical roll, I will say that you noticed upon a second inspection that there was a second set of footprints behind the one that went into the water. But the second set of footprints did not go into the water.
Where'd they go?
They end nearby, behind it, but then they don't go anywhere else. And you're not sure how. Perhaps they faded, or you just can't see them. but there is definitely a second set of footprints.
So, should we follow these footprints?
They
No,
don't
the,
go
the
anywhere.
second set of footprints followed behind the other set of footprints, but didn't go as far.
Well, let's follow the first set of footprints.
The first set of footprints were the ones that go into the water. The ones you followed here.
No, I mean, like the demonic ones.
Oh, the demonic ones. Certainly, you can follow them.
I mean, there's nothing else here. Everybody looked already, right?
Yes.
We follow the demonic footprints.
Who has a good tracking skill?
None of us really. Mine is 35.
That's the best
Mine's-
anyone has.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the best.
Give me a roll, Iris.
19.
Ooh. You successfully managed to follow these imp, demonic, whatever these things are. And they circle back around. They follow further ahead into the forest, but then turn around. But something strange happens. As you follow the footprints, they shift from their strange demonic appearance back into human feet as they head back to town.
Okay, so there's a demon in town. Can we continue following him?
They eventually fade.
How big is the shoe?
How big is the shoe?
Yeah.
You would say, I guess a size 10. Although
So
that kind of sizing doesn't exist in this period, but that's the only thing I could use as a measurement, a size 10.
like a male.
Yes, definitely male.
Oh boy.
Should we look around town? See if we see.
Oh, it's just all just going around staring at everybody. Hey, can I see your foot, please?
It could work.
Totally work. Foot quest. Alright, man. Do these footprints lead this specific set of footprints? Do they go anywhere in town, or is it just like
No, they fade they fade after a while in the forest. They are definitely headed in the direction of town, but you can't follow them after a certain point because they disappear.
dang it.
So there's no way to track whoever it is into town.
I walk into town.
You all travel back into town together after your skirmish with the whatever that thing was, and your many discoveries and clues.
I look for a random bystander.
You find a random bystander.
Excuse
smoking
me,
a
sir.
cigarette.
Excuse me, my good man.
Yeah, what you want? He throws
Have you-
away his empty cigarette butt and then pulls out another one and lights it.
Oh boy. Okay. Have you seen anyone acting strangely recently?
He takes that one in a single toke as well, and then says, "Strange how?"
Did he just
A bit
smoke an entire cigarette in one puff?
He smoked 2 entire cigarettes, actually. The first one, then a second one.
Oh
Why?
my gosh. His lung capacity is mighty.
Anyone that may have seemed inhuman.
The guy in front of us right now. Yeah.
How big is his feet?
How big is his feet? Well, you can't exactly tell just by looking. But you think it's a size 8, maybe. He's not a big guy.
Feet are too small. You're
No way a human can smoke 2 cigarettes like that.
He then pulls out a 3rd cigarette and lights it.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. This is just a spectacle to watch. This guy's got a problem.
A 3rd cigarette gone.
Oh my gosh. This guy must spend
Let's
a
go.
fortune in cigarettes.
New person.
Oh my gosh.
He then pulls out a bag full of tobacco
I'm walking away. I'm not here
and
anymore.
puts it in his
I'm
mouth
walking
and
away.
begins chewing.
Oh my gosh. This guy's just rushing to the grave, isn't he? Oh my gosh.
The amount of tobacco smoke in his lungs, he's probably dying right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Dar, what did you do? Why is he killing himself?
I don't know. He did this before I got here. But anyway.
Don't you mean he's curing himself?
Hey, this guy will probably be great for some humanity. Though it'll probably taste like smoke.
Smoky humanity.
By the
It's
way,
already been pre-smoked.
he doesn't spit while chewing the tobacco. Occasionally, you see a bunch of brown slime in his mouth, and then he just goes like...
What the fuck? You don't...
This guy has a problem.
Oh my gosh. This is like the worst tobacco addiction I think I've ever seen. I mean, nicotine addiction I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Okay, but have you seen anyone acting like, I don't know, weird, like not themselves?
I mean, everybody in town's been acting just about as they always have, as far as I can tell. You got your merchants being a bunch of bastards. You got your common folk being a bunch of bastards. You got your guards being a bunch of bastards. Everyone's just being their usual bastard self.
Has
I can
anyone
feel
been
cancer.
nice?
I feel cancer forming in my body watching this guy.
Has anyone been acting nice?
Well, I'd say the nicest man in town's the good old, what's his name? Memory's not what it used to be. I think his name's something like old Count something, Count Drake, that's his name. Old Count Drake, that is a fine man right there.
Count Drake. Where does he live?
Count Drake? Oh, he lives up on that old scary old mansion hill over there.
Of course he does. Alright, thank you very, very much, sir. You enjoy your nicotine.
As he is chewing, he pulls out another cigarette and begins to and just smokes that 4th one. As he's chewing,
I can't even.
but he
This guy
doesn't let
is
the smoke out this time. He just like breathes it in and then swallows it with a mouthful of tobacco juice.
What? That's not... What? What? This man is inhuman.
I can
This
feel
is a
cancer.
circus. This man is a
Guys, we need to
circus
leave.
sideshow.
We need to leave. I can feel cancer. Walk
Not
away.
Oh my gosh! All right, let's move. Jeez. Let's go to that scary mansion on the hill.
Hopefully, once we're done with all of this, we can get some humanity.
Yeah. We'll get it later.
You travel up to the hill on with where the mansion is, up to Count Drake's estate.
Do we see it?
Mansion.
Why are we going to an estate?
Because it is the most likely source of the guy in hiding.
How do we even unveil an imp anyway? Does anyone have
Who
any
said it was an
holy-
imp?
Well, I mean, they look like demon footprints. I
mean-
would presume it's demonic.
Can it just be a straight up demon and not an imp?
They're the same to me.
Well, I guess we must make a blood sacrifice to draw it. I count we put Vidar on the ground and put a satanic star on his chest and
Please do not do that.
Well, you're standing at the door of his mansion.
I knock.
There is a large brass knocker with the head of a lion on it. You grab the
I used
knocker and begin knocking. Not long after, the door opens by itself.
What?
At first you thought it was being opened by some butler, but no, the door just kind of swings open very slowly, and you hear a voice say, "Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, travelers, to my mansion." And you see what you assume to be Count Drake standing at the top of a staircase in his stair hall.
We're
Right inside
on
of
to
the
you,
door.
imp man.
Whoa, don't say that.
Ghosty goose?
Hi, how's it going?
What brings you today to my lovely home?
Well, we were just in the neighborhood, and we saw this great... We were looking for any disturbances, anything weird that anyone's seen around town. There's some
Disturbances.
Yes.
Well,
Have you seen...
I've seen no such strange occurrences. Then again, I spend most of my times here on my mansion property, entertaining guests such as yourselves.
Oh, so people come up here often?
Indeed, they do. Quite often I have many visitors to my estate. In fact,
Why?
I'm about to be having dinner if you'd care to join me. I love having guests and visitors. So lonely up here by myself.
There's no people in the food, right?
Of course not, silly. I would
Not
never
yet.
dream of serving such a thing to you. Just a little
but-
joke.
But you would serve it to, like, yourself?
Just a little humor, darling. Just a little humor.
You know, I am feeling a little bit peckish. You know, guys, I feel like we should have a bite to eat for a minute. I had a long day. You know, a lot of stuff happened.
We haven't eaten in a few days.
Vidar,
It
can
tastes
you,
good.
can you talk to me in private for a moment?
Sure. 1 second. Yes, Dorvin. I mean, doctor.
he's currently one of our suspects. It's not really a good idea to bring up the fact that we're investigating disturbances around town in case he decides to get suspicious.
But I already told
After
him.
all, he's an aristocrat. He's likely well educated and very intelligent.
Probably.
You hint at the fact that we're investigating disturbances around town.
But I already told him
You
that.
kind of already told him.
Yeah.
Bit late.
You could have told me this, like, well,
this is
actually,
for future. This is for future reference. Try to play off.
I mean, I wasn't going
whatever
to
we're
question it.
investigating.
Okay, but, I mean, he already knows, but sure.
Just don't give them.
If you're done
any
with
reason
your
to be suspicious.
conversation, dinner is getting cold.
Okay, let's go in then.
Alrighty.
You get the point.
You were led into a large dining hall, strangely empty, but there is indeed plates on the table with, what are those things called? Starts with a C.
Chandeliers.
No, the things you put over dishes.
Castanet?
I believe that's probably it. Castanets over all the plates. Strangely, there seems to be a place set for all of you, despite the fact that you appeared unannounced.
Like the exact number
The
is correct.
exact number.
Oh no, it's called the cloche.
The cloche, yes.
What?
I see.
The cloche.
I did think it was a bit.
It's the
weird.
metal thing that's on top of food that, like, the butler goes whoosh, and then all the food comes out. That's a cloche.
Ah. I
Yes,
just called those lids.
all of the places that have been set have a cloche over the dishes.
What? Sir, how many butlers do you have?
I told you, I'm alone up here in my estate.
Why
I
do all of
do
our
all the
food-
work myself.
Why do you own so many cloches?
Why, I always like to keep my food warm, of course. No better way than a cloche to keep that heat and steam in.
He's got a point.
I guess that's true.
Well, I'm feeling hungry. Who wants to dig in?
Depends on what's under the cloche, but yeah.
Well, let's see. What do we got here? And I lift up the cloche.
You lift up the cloche. Underneath there appears to be a piece of beef that has been cut and cooked, as well as a bit of vegetables, a few peaches, covered with a slight sprinkling of nutmeg. And of course, a glass of red wine.
Quite the meal. Quite the meal indeed.
Very,
What was that, Tom?
very suspicious.
I don't know. I mean, it seems all nice.
You eat first.
Me? Okay.
It's delicious.
Wait. I sniffed my food first.
Oh, of course. You sniff your food. It smells delicious.
Then I eat it.
You eat it. It tastes delicious.
Mmm, yum. That was
You've never
good.
had finer food.
Ooh, this is pretty good.
The doctor.
Does everyone just sit there and
inspects the
watch
beef
me?
closely.
The doctor has not removed his cloche yet. It still remains uncloached.
The doctor removes the cloche and then inspects his food closely.
The doctor notices that his plate is empty, as well as his glass.
How did he know this?
Also, Doctor, all of your silverware is on the left side of your plate. Nothing, as well as your cup. Nothing was placed on the right.
This is so suspicious.
I say, why does the doctor not have any food?
Because he doesn't eat, of course.
I uncover my food.
You uncover your cloche. There is a delicious pudding there.
Just pudding?
There's a pudding,
It's
yes.
not much of a dinner.
Just a pudding. A large bowl of pudding.
I mean, sure, why not?
I grab my cloche and I rip it off to see what I have. And I stare very closely at it.
A traditional Cretan meal. Has been prepared.
I squint my eyes at him and I'm like, I didn't see any lamb here.
I had it brought in special. I'm a wealthy man.
How would you know?
Why, I love lamb. I always make sure to have some on hand. And I figured it appropriate for our Cretan guest.
How do you know I was Cretan? How do you know the doctor doesn't eat?
How did I also know that he was missing a hand before he showed up?
He's a demon.
You're a
How
fairly
did I
interesting
know
fellow.
how many were coming? How did I know you would be here? How did I prepare the food well in advance for it?
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you start giving some answers and stop asking questions?
Curious bunch of adventurers. I know these things because I was told of your arrival by God.
Sure.
Oh, which one?
Yeah, which one?
You see, I'm not a true noble, as it were. Not one of
I knew it.
not one of lineage, but rather one given such position by a higher authority.
Mm-hmm. And whose authority is that?
Why, God's, of course.
But which gods? I come from a
Not
place
multiple.
where there's like...
What
God.
god do you worship?
You already met him.
The worm?
Worm. Merely a hair. I
You
make...
worship a strand of hair.
I know that you are seeking the missing people, and I will tell you now, I am the cause of the missing people. God demands sacrifice.
It's a worm, dude.
Fool. I prepared this meal for you to make you an offer.
I don't want to be fed to a worm.
Oh,
What's your offer?
A simple offer, really. What the mayor will pay you, I will double in exchange that you leave me to my worship.
Give me 300 gold and you'll never see me.
Sure.
I mean, we can't defeat the worm currently.
Technically, side note here, really, this is a win-win for us, because we take the money, and then we tell the mayor we can't find them. I mean, we technically might get paid twice, plus we can always just try to kill the worm later. I mean, really, there's no downside here.
I don't think we're killing that thing anytime soon.
Probably not, no. Most likely not.
It'd be more respectful to just leave it be.
I mean, we could kill him out of... no, not the worm, but we could kill this
You're
guy.
gonna dig yourself a grave.
But I don't think... I mean, what would that get us? Maybe his money? That's about it. Which he's giving to us already, so...
We're just gonna leave him be. I don't really see the issue.
I asked the man, how did
The
the
only thing I
worm tell
request
you
is
that
that-
we were coming?
Because the worm is clearly a higher being.
It's a freaking worm.
It's probably just
What's the name of your god? I want to be able to address it properly, because this worm business is silly.
Name? Why, he does have a name. I shall not waste the beauty of it on one such as yourselves. However, he is rumored in the oceans on all sides of the continent. He is known as Sea God.
Wow, what a creative name.
I thought you were gonna go with Leviathan.
I like it.
Because of Satan
Great.
thing going on here, but
I will
Sea
turn
God,
a complete blind eye to everything involving him. If you can aid in supplying me with my materials to perform my cure later.
Isn't
okay.
your...
Well,
I would just like money.
I'm gonna call
My
this.
materials are very specific and take time to acquire.
Why, of course, Doctor. Why don't you place your cloche back over your plate?
The doctor places his cloche back over the plate.
What you need is beneath it.
The doctor removes the cloche.
All the special ingredients that you need to produce the cure is there.
Wait, I'm
I am
curious
very
about something.
appreciative. The doctor places the stuff into a pouch.
Well, you have a doctor's bag.
Once you
What
all
are you
gather
curious about, Vidar?
No, I shouldn't. But I'm so
So tell me,
curious.
what is it? What are you curious about?
I'm curious if he would have just asked, if he had just asked for humanity, if it would have shown up under there. But I don't know. I'm almost curious to ask myself, but at the same time, I don't know, because money is also important. But so is humanity. It's also hard to get a hold of.
I say you still really haven't answered my question about how this Leviathan word has talked to you. Does it do it through your mind? Is it magic?
It's a god.
I
Flavors
hear
my
his...
pudding.
He speaks to me when he wishes to speak to me. I am one with his voice.
Well, why does he speak to you specifically?
Because I am a chosen disciple of
But
his
what makes you Chopal?
greatness.
I was chosen.
You guys ask too many questions.
And you don't ask enough.
This situation is clearly beyond us. Trying to get involved any further will only bring us trouble.
I just want to know about this Levi worm. That's it.
Then you ask the Leviathan worm yourself.
I can't ask the Levi worm myself. He doesn't speak to me through my brain.
If you're respectful, he might.
Stop being stupid.
What was the question you asked Iris about?
I asked him. I believe the last question I asked was what makes him a disciple of the worm, like the chosen worm person.
One cannot question the actions of gods.
Well, okay, I guess. Do you know magic?
I mean, clearly he knows some kind of magic.
I mean, might as well ask.
It's probably not a magic per se, more like God's blessing.
Flowery language doesn't change the answer.
The will of gods is beyond magic.
I don't know.
So,
Is it the will of
Vidar,
God, or is it magic?
have you guys decided on whether or not you're taking his deal or not?
I have agreed to the deal. And it's probably smart for all of us to just take the deal and go.
Yeah, I'll take the deal.
Vidar, hand me that book.
What book?
book.
Sure, why?
I will take the deal if he teaches me how to fully understand the book.
But you already do.
There's some aspects I don't understand. I can read the language, but I can't understand all of it.
Do you say this to the man?
Yes.
So for you, my good Dorvan, yes, I expected as much. The secret language of the ancient elders. The secret behind their great power. Perhaps, Dorvan, you do not speak the words with faith and conviction as you should.
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, is this Levi worm one of the elders?
The great sea god is as ancient as the great ancients. One of them, yes, but of a great high authority, beyond what they were.
Oh,
Fascinating.
do you know how many elders there are?
No.
Okay. Well, can we, have a cart? Because we have 3 barrels of arrows back at home, and, you know.
Very well, then, Iris. For you, your wish be granted. A horse-drawn cart awaits in the courtyard of my estate. And
Wait. Didn't this guy just give anything?
Vidar,
He
don't
seems
get
to be able to
greedy.
give any physical possession. I don't know if he can give things like strength or anything like that.
We should give thanks to the sea god once we're done.
And you, Vidar, what great treasure do you wish to possess, to seal, or pact?
Well, I mean, I figure it has to be an item of some kind, since, I don't know, everything else seems to be an item. So I'll assume it was an item and not something, just anything being able to be granted. Well, except for Dorvin. Dorvin asked for knowledge.
But he didn't get, like, a very clear answer for that.
He didn't get the knowledge put into his brain. He just had a roundabout answer given to him by the guy.
I can aid Dorvin in that regard later.
Can he?
The meaning of the words is
potentially.
fairly
It depends on whether or not the good doctor actually understood what that kind of language meant. What he meant when he said that.
Plus, it has to... fine, I'll just go with the obvious one. Is there any way you could have humanity under there?
You wish for humanity. One of the undead. A difficult task, but not impossible for a god. His hands have been behind his back this whole time. He pulls his left hand out from behind his back and holds forward an orb of humanity. For
Doctor,
you, Vidar.
do you have a jar?
I have plenty.
Yeah, let me borrow a jar real
British
quick.
accent.
Here. The doctor
I don't-
gives Vidar a jar.
I put the humanity in a jar.
Well then, I suppose that concludes our business. He gestures for you to leave.
Wait,
Say.
what flavor is this pudding?
The pudding? Oh, it's, the pudding that you ate is,
I have not ate it yet.
oh,
I just uncovered it.
it looks like some kind of, custard bread pudding.
Can I put it in my backpack?
Yes.
Alright, we should make haste. It'd be disrespectful to linger around any further than we're allowed.
I do have one question, and that is...
Iris, don't push your luck.
my question is that, you know, you're this disciple of this demon worm, god of the sea. And
Why did you call it a demon?
you're the one who told... Be quiet, you.
The doctor gets up and leaves.
One moment before you do any of that. Let Iris finish what she's saying.
I say you're a disciple, so you pretty much are kind of like all-powerful in comparison to a normal person. Because of this sea god. So, like...
I have no power. It is merely his divine blessing.
So, why be afraid of us and give us things to leave you alone?
Because I, as the sea god's great disciple, provide him with necessary sacrifice to sustain his great being. And, of course, he knew that you'd come for me, and sought to provide you a reason that might protect me from your wrath, as I am not all-powerful as he.
So you're just a normal guy.
So you can't... So, like, the worm guy, can't protect you, even though he's all-powerful?
He has given me powers, but I am not all-powerful.
No, the worm's all-powerful.
Correct.
So, why can't he protect you from us? Seems like a loophole.
Why are you bothering him with this?
I just was curious.
No, this is more than
Curiosity
curiosity.
killed the cat.
This is like you are trying to piss him off.
You're
Okay, we can leave. I just wanted to know, but I don't think I'm gonna
You're
get an
pushing
answer.
your luck. Apologize to the sea god when you can. You do not.
As you begin to leave, Iris, he puts a hand on his shoulder, on your shoulder, and says, "I'd watch your skeptical tongue if I were you." As the by the way, Doctor, before you exit the door, he says, "Oh, one more thing, Doctor," and tosses your severed hand to you. One last blessing from the god.
Oh, I am grateful. I shall give him proper thanks when I have the chance.
So, you now all leave the estate, having been given blessings by the sea god. And one of those being a horse-drawn cart. With a horse.
Really get a blessing. I just got jumbled words.
I'll see about helping you with that later. Let's just get back to town for now.
So who's gonna pull the cart?
It's a horse.
There's a horse.
Gonna
There's a horse.
There is a physical horse connected
Who's
to
going
cart.
to feed the horse?
Well, we got so much money
are.
now.
I'm
We
not-
do?
Well, don't we? He said he'd pay us a lot.
Yeah, he said he'd pay us double. How much? did
No, because we got those gifts instead of the money.
Yeah, but he still said he'd pay us double.
We will still get the money from the
No.
mayor. Remember?
Yeah, we're gonna get
How
the
are you
mayor's
going to
money.
get money from the mayor?
We're going to inform him of what happened.
Oh yes, I see.
Well,
God,
tell him the people died. And
I
he'll
see
what
be like,
evidence?
killing your people. Get out of town.
oh yeah, we have no evidence.
You don't
We are-
have anything to show the mayor. Any Joe Schmo off the street can walk up and say anything they want. That doesn't mean they're going to get a reward.
Perhaps I can convince the mayor that
Convince
we
the
found
mayor
them.
that there's this man heavily reliant off tobacco on the outskirts of town.
No, maybe I can convince him because, I mean, technically, we did see some shit.
Everybody sees shit every time they go to the bathroom. What's different?
How about we take the mayor to go see the sea god?
Yes, and
What?
then we can rob the mayor and then shove him into its fucking mouth.
What? Okay, look, there's a big difference
Sacrifice him
between...
as prop. We can
There is a-
sacrifice.
Then how are we gonna get his money?
We rob him.
We can have him and his guards go meet the sea god, sacrifice them to the sea god, and then we go to the mayor's house and we rob him.
This is a very dark turn. I mean, this is...
We're letting
We
this
all
crazy
hate
guy. Look, we're letting this crazy guy sit there and sacrifice people to some random sea god.
Wouldn't it be easier for me to just convince him to give us some money instead of me to convince him to go out
Hey,
of his house to go
We
into
already
the forest,
agreed he's kidnapped him.
through the
Darn.
forest to a random hole in the ground, and then we rob him, which he will attack us before that happens, and then
We don't
hope
rob him.
that we get, and
Vidar,
then.
shut up. How about this? Seeming as how me and the doctor...
I'm sorry, am I using
Back
too
the
much
mayor.
smarts for you? this
Shut
time?
up. Shut up. The doctor and I are already kidnapping the mayor tonight. How about we just rob him at the same time and get our money?
He has this town. Did you forget this town is full of guards?
We're kidnapping him because
Sacrifice
he's a
the whole
fucking
town to the
douchebag.
God.
That is moronic. Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't we? This guy's a fucking veggie man.
Okay, look. I'll admit he's a douchebag, but he does
Veggie
suck.
man gets kidnapped and sacrificed to sea god.
One thing, we don't know if the sea god's gonna listen.
Who
Two,
gives a shit? He just eats whatever he wants.
we don't even know if he'll What if we just throw him in there and he's just sitting there in the water?
I guess we'll
just
fucking
like,
drown him in the salt
fuck
water.
you. I'm a
I have
veggie
a
man.
plan.
Fuck you.
We will take the
I'm in the
rocks.
water now. I'm all wet.
We will take the rope and tie him to rocks. Bath.
I'm going to get my gods to kill you now.
Kidnapping this asshole and killing him, whether you like it or not.
We are going to get this whole town on our ass.
I don't
and I don't
give
want
a
that to
shit.
happen.
And then we lead
don't
him
give-
into the forest and sacrifice him to the sea god.
How about this? Since you are so determined to get him into the forest, at least
We
let
are
me try to
killing this asshole, whether you like it or not.
because he told you he was a veggie man.
He's
Is
an
that why you
annoying
want to kill him?
bitch. He died.
So the logical step is to kill him, right?
Yes.
Because he's slightly bothersome.
Weren't we going to kill
Slightly.
him right then and there when
This
he
man,
stepped back into
he's
the...
just fucking head cut off and thrown in a saltwater bath.
Oh my gosh. Fine, but let me convince him to go out there. Don't just fucking grab him. This
I
never
have
gonna
a
work.
plan.
Fine, let's convince him to go out there and see whatever bullshit we saw, and then we fucking slit his throat and then throw him in the salt water.
I have a
How
plan.
about that?
Tomorrow morning, we'll
Not
meet up
even
with
then.
him.
Let's do it tonight.
It will be suspicious if we do it tonight. But then again, we'd have the cover of darkness and be able to catch them more off guard with Sea God.
His guards can come with us, but I'm going for Veggie Man first.
Wait.
Well,
But the second we catch him off guard, okay, what are you gonna do? If you push him into the water,
I'm going to
There
stick
goes the
a
money.
sword.
Who
I'm going to
says that-
stick a sword into his face, loot his corpse, and kick him into the fucking vat of salt water.
yeah, but dead sacrifices are not as good as living sacrifices.
We're not the ones that need to sacrifice to him. We're just killing it.
It's not much of a sacrifice. It's more like a.
We're killing a guy and dumping the body. We are not sacrificing anything.
I'd much rather want to sacrifice him. It would be proper thanks.
Proper thanks for what? You gave me fucking jumbled words.
He gave you wisdom, and
That is
wisdom
not
is
wisdom.
invaluable.
He spoke garbage to me.
For someone
could have
so-
asked-
Wait.
Drunk
I had a
man.
thought. Okay, if the mayor and his guards are out of his place, he's probably not going to have that much money on him. All his money is going to be in his.
Well, fine. How about this?
So we
Me,
push him in.
you- No,
We
no.
push him in to
Me, you, and the
sacrifice him.
doctor. Me, you, and the doctor go and lure this guy out into the forest. While Miss Sneaky, Stealthy, 7-foot-tall lady in a cloak loots his office.
Yeah, and then she can bring us the loot. Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good idea. That's
And I
what
need
we'll do.
you to kidnap some children.
We don't need
What?
children.
Not later, Doctor. We can do that later. Let's not add anything else on this grand heist plan of ours.
I'm not kidnapping children. You
This is
do
a
that-
full-on heist we're planning. This has gone from slight death to giant assassination heist. This is big.
Fine,
This
let's
is a
go.
big thing.
Let's go do this. What time is it?
It's the middle of the night.
Good. Let's go
Let's-
visit the mayor and drag his ass out there.
He's not gonna go into the forest in
I
the middle of the
don't
fucking night.
Care. Convince him. You are the one with this gigantic fucking charisma persuasion skill.
Well,
If you can't convince him, we will just fucking kidnap him.
why don't you wait till the morning, next session, because we're out of time, to pull off your heist. That can be your next session. Your grand mayor heist.
That is a gigantic heist. I was about to say, this is going to be a long heist.
Yeah, so we'll end today's session there.